better for the be like, no.
These small little cars, I like them. So which one's more stable to the ground when the wind is blowing? Is it like bigger cars or smaller cars? Smaller, right?
Yeah, smaller cars.
Why did you have the emergency lights on?
Well, because like automatically, when somebody stop right in front of you too quickly, so you just kind of, you can see up further ahead, you warn the people behind you. So they start slowing down. It's a hazard light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that usually like, okay, that's an interesting trick. I thought hazard lights you put on when you're like struggling.
Yeah, I mean that too. But also like, you know, you warn people ahead of like whether it's collision or upcoming traffic all of
To
a
slow
sudden.
down.
Yeah, to slow down.
Yeah. Okay, that's an interest. That's learn something new every day. You learned that trucking, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't teach that in driving school.
Hell no. Trucking, you know, because you hire, you see further ahead. So you warn other truckers. So a lot of time, because with trucking, especially if you're full, right,
Yeah.
you go in the regular speed limit. And
It's
all of a
harder
sudden-
to
yeah,
brake.
Exactly.
It takes a longer time, right?
Yeah, longer time, yeah.
Kind of like my car. My car used to have brakes. And no, it wasn't because I didn't change them. I don't know what it was with my brakes. It was big issues with my car.
Yeah.
Remember?
I remember.
Like you could not brake sharply.
But also, like, it was with your car as well. You couldn't just speed it up. You know, you had a hard time catching speed.
Yes, it would just stay at a certain time. Apparently, my mom said that was set up that way because I have my grandfather's car. My grandfather set it up that way intentionally
Really?
because he didn't want to go too fast.
How the hell you set up?
I don't even know what that. I think that was bullshit.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's
I think it was just something was really wrong with that car from sitting for waiting, you know, because it was.
Yeah, I think it was like because you know if you're losing torque in your car, then he's gonna have a hard time speeding.
But they didn't know how to change it. They didn't because we've taken it to the mechanic many times. They just didn't. It was just done.
Listen, it was just dumb the way they actually spent more money on the old car than actually having to just buy a whole new one. Well, not a whole new one, another used one that's much better.
Well, you know, I'm used to hand-me-downs.
Like, didn't she spend like freaking like $1,000 plus?
She spent over $2,000 on it.
Yeah, over 2,000, right?
Yes, because it's set for too long. You know, for a long time. I think it's set for like 3 years.
Yeah.
My dad would like start it, but he wouldn't drive it.
Yeah.
So to repair it, to get it running again. And then my mom, listen, and then when we were going to the States, to England, she was like, why are you selling the car? What if you have to come back? Then I'm going to get a different one because this one sucks ass. I didn't even sell it for much. I think it was like for like $100.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not worth anything else. Do you know she could have gotten me a nice car for that $2,000 she put in there? I mean, I sound super spoiled.
Yeah.
Instead of saying I could have gotten a nice car for $2,000, I said she could have gotten me a nice car.
Yeah, that sounds super spoiled.
Oh my goodness! But no, it was my first car, and
No, I get where you're coming from.
And they
because-
bought my brother 3 cars
Yeah, exactly. That's where that
before I
comes
had
from.
my first one.
So it was like your brother crashed 3 cars,
Yeah,
and then but you was like, nah, just get her to use one.
yeah. I mean, he had used ones too.
Yeah.
It was just they were nice ones. And yes, every one of them. No, the last one he didn't crash. The last one he gave to a bail bondsman to pay for his bail. And it was a nice car. It was one of them sports cars. Oh shit. Every one of his cars was dark green too. I don't know how he picked it. One of them he totaled by hitting a moose on the highway. or the moose hitting him. I'm not sure how that went.
Yep.
All I know is the car was totaled.
Yeah, screw that. Wasn't at some point he knocked off half the powers in the town?
In New Britain, yeah.
By hitting the pole?
Yeah, that was with his Honda.
Yeah.
My brother, out of all people, should not have gotten the 3 cars from my parents.
Yeah, I know.
And I just get like a leftover hand-me-down from my grandparents' car.
Why didn't they give him the leftover hand-me-down?
Because with because 2 of the cars he got was while my grandparents were still there.
Oh, they were still there. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And then the 3rd one, they bought it for him, but with the promise that he's gonna like pay them back in installments. And I think he only made like 2 installments.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Yeah. That's what happens when you spoil a child. Oh, we're almost home.